A dog was abandoned on the streets with a note, but his backstory was an even bigger mystery. Ever met with something that takes your attention as you nonchalantly take a walk in public? There's a lot of incidents that happen around you if you step outside anywhere. A couple was just walking around when they encountered something that was unacceptable. They saw something tied to a dumpster. Something that was definitely not supposed to be there. There was an adorable but depressed puppy all alone there. There was a note that was placed right beside him that tore their hearts to shreds. We must have all seen something out of the ordinary when we head out or run errands in public. The couple had rushed to a store to run and purchase a few items that were needed at home. They did not expect their day to be of any significance as things went their usual way. However, while they were outside, they met with a strange sight, something totally unexpected. So what exactly did this couple see when they were outside buying supplies from the store? Well, it was something that was not strange to look at with just a glance. There was a dog there. However, this small dog was tied up to a dumpster, and initially, there was no reason to be concerned. As they took a closer look, the two of them were shocked to see what this was all about. And to see a dog outside was not something that should cause any concern. Also, the couple did not really get alarmed after seeing this tiny pup tied to a dumpster. It is a common practice for people to chain their dogs outside whenever there is a need to enter these stores. But something else made the couple get a little worried and attentive. When they saw that there was a puppy tied to a dumpster, they felt sorry for it, but they assumed that he was waiting outside for its owner. Maybe this dog was just waiting outside as the owner needed to head inside to buy some items too. But after they realized that there was a note attached to the pup, they were shocked and a little worried. After seeing that there was a note attached to this tied-up dog, the couple got a little curious. They wanted to know what he was doing here, why no one was around. They scanned the area, but still no sign of a possible owner of the dog. And since their curiosity was piqued because of the note beside the dog, the couple went closer to read what it said. And after getting extremely curious to see what the note said, the couple finally went close and read it. They did not prepare themselves for what was to come. The couple did not expect that the dog would be left in such a lonely state. They read what the note said and was immediately heartbroken to know what the real situation was all about. And so when the two of them got closer, the words on the note left them speechless. The message that was written on the note read, "Free pup. My name is Scooter. The owner went to jail today." It was clear that the dog was now without an owner, alone and left in the streets to fend for himself. The owner must have committed a crime that led to some jail time, leaving the pup all alone with nowhere to go. And so, reading what was written on the big note beside the puppy was certainly a huge shock. The couple thought it would have been a cute note, but boy were they wrong. They just could not understand what their eyes had read. They soon took some photographs of the poor pup and proceeded toward posting it on the internet, trying to help with the situation. And so since the couple wanted to do something about the poor dog's situation, they did something in the hope that it helped. The couple made an effort to change the dog's life for the better by uploading photos of the dog online. They were wishing that someone would message them claiming to recognize this pup. Surely someone or the other must know the dog, right? And soon after waiting for a few days after posting the picture on the internet, they finally got a response. The couple had hoped that someone took notice of this pup from the photos, and soon it caught the attention of Paula Langford, who is the manager of Southeastern Homeless Animals. They knew that she would be better equipped and more capable of handling the situation. And so after they got a response from Paula, Paula was obviously someone well-equipped and skilled in handling this kind of situation. And when interviewed later, she even revealed, "I just reached out to them and said, I'll take the dog. I have a microchip scanner. I'll get him scanned and validate the story first." It was clear that she knew what steps to take. Paula wanted to do everything right and was careful to hopefully get the dog back to where he belongs. She knew that the streets weren't safe for a tiny pup like him, too. She wanted to locate the owners using the microchip. She then explained what she was planning to do, and then we'll get him wherever it is that he belongs. After messaging the couple who took the dog from the streets and advertised him online, Paula told them that she could take it from there, and after they had communicated with each other, Langford went over to the gas station. They had spoken about what the best option would be for the dog, so they decided that Paula would be a better handler, so she met the couple at the gas station. And so after the couple handed over the little guy to Paula, she was set on doing what was right for him. She wanted nothing but to take the dog in and help out as much as she possibly could. Paula just wanted to get the dog to the owners that he originally belonged to. She knew how confusing it must have been for the poor puppy. She was suddenly hit by a huge realization. After being handed the dog, Paula was quick and inspected the dog immediately. She wanted to know the kind of condition he was in, whether he needed any medical attention or not. And pretty soon, Langford had a very shocking realization. She came to know after a close inspection that the dog had been well cared for. He was in a rather healthy physical condition. After looking into the condition of the dog more closely, Paula came to a conclusion. It was a totally unexpected discovery to see how well maintained the poor puppy was. She explained, "As soon as I saw him, I knew this was a loved pet. He was clean, he was flea-free. He was abandoned with an expensive carrying case for him, an expensive collar, a bag of grain-free dog food. We all know that dogs are social, but they each have a different personality. So even this dog had his own set of conduct. He was quite timid and accepting of the new people in his life. The dog was a bit skeptical initially, but did not take too long for him to open up to Langford. He slowly grew closer and trusted her in due time, understanding that she just wanted to help. The dog took a little time to warm up to Langford, but he came around once he understood that she meant no harm. He would become very comfortable and playful around Langford, which was a great sign that he was starting to enjoy her company. She was truly confused and found it hard to understand why someone would ever abandon such a precious dog like him. She explained how the dog behaved when she initially got him. He was a bit nervous but very sweet and very loving. He wanted to cuddle. It was kind of precious because on the way home he kind of laid his head on my chest and just did this big sigh and kind of melted into me and went back to sleep. She revealed, smiling as she recalled her initial encounters with the pup. After she took some time to get to know the pup a little better, Paula could not wrap her head around the fact that the dog was abandoned. How could anyone have the ability to discard a beautiful dog like him? She then explained it was obvious that this was a snuggly, well-loved, well-cared-for dog. He wasn't just a throwaway. This was to her unbelievable. And after realizing that there was no sign of negligence, that the little pup was loved and well-maintained, Paula knew that he must have had a family somewhere. She was certain that the dog must have had someone waiting for him to come home, and the next thing that Langford wanted to work on was to help find the dog's owner and get them their dog back. And like any other dog that has a proper owner, this dog was in fact microchipped. We all know that these microchips are used to locate lost dogs. She then did the most sensible next thing. She called the number associated with the pup in the hopes that someone helpful might answer, but she soon found out that this number was disconnected. And so after realizing that this dog had a history where he was obviously loved and cherished, Paula wanted him to reconnect with his previous owners. And after she dialed the disconnected number linked to his microchip, Paula did some extra work. She was checking the dog's background and soon found out some really interesting data. Paula, after looking into the dog's background, was able to retrieve some information, and so after some research, she revealed, "We discovered that he is originally from Colorado. We tried to contact the number on the microchip, but the number was disconnected. This might have been very little information about the dog, but she was determined to follow through with her plans." After she dialed the number associated with the abandoned dog, she was able to gather some more information, so she explained what the situation was for the dog now. The microchip company informed me that he had been found in 2015 in Colorado, and then again in 2016 in St. Petersburg, Florida. He had a very interesting history. The dog had actually been lost before, and now it had happened once again. He was in another state too, which was pretty confusing and interesting too. She also added, and that he'd been returned to the owner, but that's all he knew. And then, all of a sudden, he's in South Carolina. How did this tiny pup make it all the way? More importantly, why? So after further investigating the situation that the pup was in, Langford soon found out more shocking information. She discovered that this dog was without an owner for a very unfortunate reason. She found out that the dog's owner got arrested and that they had handed over the responsibility of taking care of his dog to his friend as well. He must have kept the dog with his pals in the hopes that he would look after him with love and care, but this was not the case at all. His plans of the dog being taken care of by his friends didn't come through, and after she found all this information, Langford gave this piece of information to the cops about the situation. She knew they would be more helpful and would know what was the best approach. After realizing that he was about to go to the slammer, the dog's owner had to be quick to make sure his dog was cared for. She explained what happened to him then, revealing when he was arrested, this man was concerned that his dog did not go to the shelter, so he handed over his belongings, his money, his backpack, his carrying bag. He was most concerned that his dog had a place to stay and food to eat, too. From the condition he was in, it was evident that the owner cared deeply for this pup. She went on and explained the whole situation, adding, "and his beloved dog to his friends," and asked them to ensure that the dog was safe. But sadly, the dog did not receive the love he was promised, what he deserved. After the police were informed of the situation, they held an investigation. Their main aim was to try and locate who had abandoned the adorable dog. They had to find out who was cruel enough to leave the poor pup out in the streets, chained to a dumpster. They have issued an arrest warrant for those two individuals for the abandonment, Langford explained. And after taking time and effort to do so, Langford was finally able to track down the dog's owner's family. She finally got a hold of his mother and was in talks to get them reunited. The mother was residing in Colorado but made an agreement to meet with Langford in Nebraska. Even though they were far off and would require a long drive, they agreed to do it still. And so after setting up the time and place where the reunion would take place, they finally met, and as expected, it was an emotional moment. Paula spoke about the reunion. It was a very touching and emotional reunion, and it was quite obvious that Scooter was very happy to see his family again. I'm 100% confident in my decision to reunite this beloved pup with his family. And after this whole incident took place, it was clear that Langford is an incredibly dedicated person. She would always be up to help out animals that are in need. It does not matter if they have been abandoned or hurt. She was certain that the owner truly loves his dog, and she hopes that he quickly got the chance to reunite with Scooter. Paula had this to say about the touching story of Scooter the dog. When an animal is found on the streets, the ultimate hope is that the animal has a loving family looking for them. However, in more cases than not, that's not the outcome. In Scooter's situation, he was a loved and treasured member of a wonderful family, and while it was emotional for me to say goodbye, I have no doubt that he is exactly where he belongs.